So can I ask you, please, that if you are part of the life of this church, will you please watch the Vision series sermons that are on our YouTube channel if you haven't been a part of them over the last couple of weeks, just so we can all make sure that we're on the same page with where we believe God is calling us and leading us. And we also sent out a document last week that has all the details. And if you didn't receive that or you have questions about that, please let us know. And then we are reopening, as I said earlier, on the 25th of October for in-person services. So just a couple of important things that we wanted to remind you about in terms of that. Firstly, online will remain. So for those who are connecting from all over the world, for those with comorbidities who are high risk and all of that, you are welcome to continue to watch online, and we're going to try our very best to continue to make the Zoom service as an engaging experience as if you were there in person with us. And then how the in-person services will work, just to give you an idea, we have the official regulations from the government, and so we're trying very hard to make sure everything is in place for that. So what we'll do is we're going to send out a screening form on WhatsApp. It will be a link to a Google form that you can fill in, and then we ask you to complete that, please, before you come to church, so that it's all the screening questions that I'm sure you're very familiar with as you go into different places. And then you'll be screened on entry, also just with your temperature will be taken, and we'll add that to your Google form and that reading. So before you come, you can fill that in. If you're afraid of technology, don't worry, we will have some paper forms for you to fill in as well. So don't worry about that. You will need to please wear a mask for the duration of the service. So from the time that you arrive all through, you will have to wear a mask as you come in. And you are allowed to sing. There's no regulation saying that you may not sing. We know that singing is a high-risk activity, so the worship team will be far away from you. They will all be distanced. All the chairs are distanced in the venues, so you will be far away from people, but you will have to wear your mask the whole time. And then there will also be no catering for the moment. We've just decided that we obviously don't want people to take their masks off to be drinking tea and touching all the cups and everything. So for the moment, we won't have any catering, but please feel free to bring along your own little flask of coffee or your bottle of water or whatever it might be. You're welcome to bring that along with you if you come to the services. Then also we need to know, please, as I said in the beginning, for those who will be coming back, it really is a all hands on deck kind of situation at the moment. So I am vulnerably asking for help, please. So we need everyone to please get involved. There is loads that need to be done. So here's some volunteer opportunities. And Karine, if you are able to please launch that poll for us now. A poll will come up and just ask you where you are able to serve. I hope that will come up, but there's a couple of places that you can get involved. So there's AV, those who have previously done it, or if you haven't done it before, we need our computer clickers to go through all the slides, and there's a whole nother complicated level of AV happening as well with the online, obviously, but we've kind of got that sorted, so don't worry about that. Then obviously the worship team, if you were previously on the worship team, we need to know, please, if you're coming back, if you'll be able to join in. We've got greeters and ushers, and also now a whole other group of people, the screeners, who will need to do the temperature readings and help screen as people come in the mornings. And then also we're going to be opening our kids and our youth services. So there's a couple of opportunities to serve with the children. Just to let you know that this doesn't sound terrifying for some of you, we will have a video lesson. So as we've been doing online, there will be the video lesson. So we literally need people who are willing to MC and have some group discussions, run some games, because the theological content will be there for you on a video. So if you can push the play button and you can be friendly to children, then you can do it. So if you are able to help us as a leader or an assistant with the children's church, we would love that. And we'd also love to get a children's worship team going. So these are people, you don't have to be able to sing at all, but you do have to be able to jump around and do actions and be a little bit excitable. So we'll send you some the videos, and you can learn them and practice the actions and go and dance around with the kids during worship. And so we thought that can be a whole separate team, so that our leaders and the teachers in the kids' church and the small group discussions don't have to necessarily feel that they have to take that on as well. So those are kind of the items that we have for the moment as to where we are going with the reopening. So we'd love your feedback and where you're able to assist with that. And then I have some exciting news for the Hope House community, for those who are here this morning from the Centurion side. As we've looked at going to reopening, we've known for quite a while that the Scout Hall is probably not the greatest venue for us to be in, and especially the last couple of months, I don't think anyone has been there or mowed a blade of grass or cleaned anything in the last 7 months. So it will probably be more scary than usual there. And so we have a great new venue that we will be moving into when we open on the 25th of October. So it's just over 6 Ks away from where we currently are, just on the other side of the Air Force Base toward the Pretoria side. But from a traveling perspective, for those coming around, it's right off the R21, so it really shouldn't make much difference to your travel time. It's much closer to the highway than the Scout Hall. And so we're really excited to be moving there. We'll send you all the details. And it really is a beautiful space where we believe that we can grow and God can really move in that space. And we're so excited to be able to kind of relaunch in that space as we move there on the 25th of October. So we will send you all the details about that, but we're really looking forward to seeing you there. And then last week, our last item of business is that we spoke about how we believe that as part of our vision to be one church with multiple communities, we really need to move forward together. And so we're proposing a name change for our churches to all really fall under one cohesive banner. And so we have a proposed name that we wanted to share with you. And just for some background as to where we arrived at this name, it really wasn't just thumb sucked. The most obvious thing when we first started was to try and combine Hope House and Ridgeway, and that there would be kind of some elements of both, but we tried to do that and we didn't really feel that it was gelling. And so we looked at a whole lot of different alternatives. And if you've ever tried to do this, finding a church name is not easy, because it either sounds really corny or someone else is already using it. So we really went around this mulberry bush quite a lot and tried to think up different things. But in the end, we really believe that because of collaboration, we circled back to this name, Hope Ridge Church. And so hope is obviously foundational for us. And if you look at a definition of a ridge, it is a chain of mountains. And a ridge is actually the point at which mountains connect or meet each other. And when we realized that, when we looked up the definition of a ridge and we realized that, the name kind of settled for us, because we've been speaking about this vision of being connected communities, of being a place where people can find hope, and being that image of Matthew chapter 5 of a city on a hill that lights up the surrounding area. And so this whole image of a mountain and of connected points of places where we really meet each other really spoke to us. And so the name really did flow out of this vision that we believe that God is stirring in us. Now, we know that it takes some time getting used to any change, and there's been a lot of change over the last couple of months. So you may be a bit primed for change already, thanks Corona, or maybe not. But we really just ask you to think through it and pray through it and let it mull over in your mind and hearts. And we also wanted to give you an opportunity to just chat about it and to kind of give us any thoughts and perspectives. And so we're going to go into breakaway groups now, and I really want to encourage you, even if you normally run away from the breakaways, please won't you just be part of them. We're going to go for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then we're going to come back and maybe just hear from a couple of people and have a bit of a discussion about it. And so we'll come back to the main session again. And I just wanted to show you, there's just one more slide about, here's the icon sort of that would be used, that we're thinking for the logo. So that would be for social media, that little circle at the top for social media. And obviously, it's quite a definitive and identifiable little icon that's easily recognizable. And then you can see at the bottom there, we wanted to go for a very simple kind of logo that can be put on any background and branding and Easter slides or Christmas slides or whatever series we're doing at that particular time. And so those are just some of the sort of imagery, just so that you can get a sense of what that would look like.